Well, hello and welcome back to the tower. I am late edition. I got cursed today. I was cursed by the lab speed up. This was just a comedy of errors that just went wrong. So let me get this posted because everybody is very eager for me to get started. I apologize. I thought when I said I was getting something to eat, it was clear that I wasn't going to my kitchen because my kitchen does not have a robot chef, nor does it have a mother to cook for me. I had to go to the store where I pay someone to pretend to be my mother and make me food. So that's what we had to do. And so I apologize for being late. But the best laid plans did not work at all. Hi, Nick. Hey, Orm. How you guys doing? Sorry, I am late. But you can see I saved the... How do I get to this button? Okay, I can get to it through there. But I saved everything for you. Oh, wait, I didn't post it in the Discord. Hold on. Yeah, I did the trick where I paused the game so we wouldn't miss anything. Sorry that it's late. The good news is I can stay late today. I know not everybody can. All right. So here's what I did, and we can't change anything now. I got the project funding, and I got DimCore, and I got Anticube. And I got gems. Ooh, gems. Oh, wow, alerts. Let's get these out of the way. All right. I put my tournament cards on. And you have to trust that I switch my spec just because enemy attack level is this low. And this one's this high. And I have no money. Hey, Mohammed. We're going to see. I don't know how long it's going to be. Let's get started. I do have the new and improved intro sprint, so we're going to see how that works. I don't anticipate that the tournament stream will be too long. Nick, you have to complete the event missions. You can't be a quitter. You got to try. You took a whole week off. Where were you, Nick? We were worried about you. We were all wondering where you went. And then I realized it was Easter, so I assume you went to do Easter things. You were at the field for a week? Did the soccer field eat you? Show us, Nick, what the soccer field did to you. Actually, that came out wrong. Don't do that. But you can still play the tower while playing soccer. It's called, bring your phone charger. Right? Can't you just bring your phone charger to soccer practice? Fine, we'll call it football because I'm late. So, since I'm late, it's football now. Football Europe. European football. Anyways, so what happened with your European football? I just don't understand, can't you just bring your phone to European football? I bring my phone to work, if I, when I didn't have power, I brought my phone to work and played it. That was a crazy tournament because I was I thought I was good on my phone charge until I wasn't, and I literally walked home, realized, oh no, I'm not doing well in the tournament, walked all the way back to the office, and plugged in, and didn't do as well as the tournament as I thought I was going to do. That's a lot of football. Yeah, but where was your phone, Nick? I mean, you certainly you should have had downtime. Like you could, kick a runoff at the end of the day, or your tablet or whatever. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? And thank you. And oh, hey, Sar, how you doing? I think I forgot you, Sar. I'm sorry if I did. If I didn't, well, you got two hellos. Nobody gets jealous. If people start getting jealous, I'll be here all night saying hello. Yes, I understand that, Nick, but it's an idle game, right? Like you don't have to like sit there and watch the game. You can just set the runoff and be like, I'll farm tier 1. Just get some points on the board and then just walk away. I'm sorry, Sar. No, Nick, you said it. Say it with me, guys. Set it and forget it. Like you don't have to micro it, Nick. You don't have to. You can just send it, and it won't be your best run. I get it. But a bad run is better than, oh, God. Well, there you go, Nick. You should have not been Devo. I'm very sorry. I'm also so sorry that this is late. I guess, like, I know how long things take in my life, because I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be 45 minutes. That's why I had... I understand, Nick. So, like, what you should have done is you should have saved up 300 gems, right? You should have then respec'd while you're away at football camp to a more auto spec. Then when you came back from football camp, you respec back to Devo because now you can maintenance it. But hindsight is 2020. I understand, like, needing to spend time with people. I had visitors. I didn't let them interrupt my video game playing, though, because that's, like, against the rules. But I do understand, like, having visitors. And only sometimes I play the tower in front of them. Usually it's like I check it for 2 seconds. It's like, oh, I gotta get my gems. Just hold on a minute. Okay, we can continue whatever we were doing. That probably makes me sound like an addict, but, whatever. I mean, the gems, I gotta get the gems. They sit there waiting for me. It's rude for me not to pick the gems up. I know, it's a little bit bigger, but, you'll get there. We don't discriminate in this house. Or at this table. Everyone's welcome. But that's why I was saying, Nick, you would have to respec, and you'd be farming like tier 1 or something. But I mean, it is what it is, right, Nick? It is what it is. You did what you did, and we're just glad you're back. Hey, Cuxon, how you doing? We're just all glad you're back, Nick. Because I was scrolling through the list, I'm like, wait, where'd Nick go? What happened here? I missed this memo. I was very confused. I'm saving for, so my problem, Ryan, is I was saving for a very specific goal. Hey, Ghetto, how you doing? And thank you for the well wishes. I hope your tournament went well too, Ghetto. I got a difficult bracket this time. So my original goal, well, I mean, it's intro sprint. You'll get it one day. My original goal was, I was saving up to rush the tier 9 research for card mastery, right? So that required me to save at least 4,000 gems to rush that. Then they decided to drop a module on me at the last minute. And I was like, well, I guess I have to save up for the banner. Then they did the 2 banners, and I did the first banner, and the second banner wasn't any good. And now I was like, well, there's 2 banners waiting. Like, when are we going to get the rest of the banners? So now I'm stuck in this eternal, like, what do you call it? Purgatory of like, do I spend my gems or do I not spend my gems? Hey, Santino, how you doing? And so I haven't been spending my gems because I don't know what they're doing with the banners. So I feel like obligated to save my gems, Ryan, until we have word on the banner situation. Because the last thing I want is for them to drop like a new kind of gun module that's like an econ gun, and I can't afford the econ gun. You know what I mean? That would break my heart. And so that's just how I have this. That's how I just have so many gems. And also, like, I've been conditioning myself to mostly save my gems anyways, because of I would save everything for a video. My intro sprint is level 5 now, so we'll skip 1,000, the first 1,080 waves. It is amazing. It has dramatically increased how many cells I get. It's like no joke, I get so many more cells now. That'd be kind of, hey, Penguin Jar, how you doing? Defense Absolute with a new mod, that would be crazy. Make Defense Absolute great again. So the whole problem is, the game has basically trained me now to save my gems because I don't know what's going on with the banner. So I have to save my gems because God forbid a good banner drops for the next 2, because we're still missing 2 modules. And then once that concludes, then I can determine how to spend my gems again. Defense Absolute is super tricky to do because if it's good, it's so good it's overpowered. And unless he makes it like somebody said, like interact with econ or damage somehow, that's the only way I see Defense Absolute coming back, which could be very easy to do. Like, look what Project Funding did. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It would just have to be, well, it would just have to be something like what Project Funding did or something like that, where it's like, just have a bunch of Defense Absolute and it also increases your damage. Or it increases, you know, your... See, what I think is that we need an econ for the armor slot and we need an econ for the weapon slot. Like, that's what I would do, because those banners I know people would be interested in because they would want an econ gun. So once you have over 100% thorns, I don't think you really need extra thorns because that reflects 100%. Hey, Christian, how you doing? That reflects everything back, so I don't know that you really would ever need extra thorns. And I think it would want to be something more universal, which would probably be econ. Oh, that's true, Penguin. I didn't think about wall thorns. Well, Henrik, I just know econ modules would sell. You know what I mean? I know that if they dropped an econ module, and if they dropped it in a slot that doesn't have an econ alternative, everybody would pile into it. But you are right. We don't really need it. I was just thinking, like, in terms of, like, I know this would sell. You know what I mean? Because people would want this for farming. And I'm glad everybody learned about how long it takes me to get food today. I didn't know you guys didn't know, so that's kind of my bad for not being more transparent on, like, the journey that I take to get food. And, you know, I think it's safe to say I blame Maria. You know, if she was here, she could have cooked something for me. I was raiding with a guy last night, and in the middle of the raid, his wife brings him food. Which is, you know, I mean, she could have waited till after raid, but still nice. I've never had someone that's supportive of my hobbies. All my hobbies I got ridiculed for. Why are you playing video games? You're never going to be able to do anything with playing video games. Why aren't you working a regular job? Nick, I'm sorry. It's funny, you jinxed me. Nick, you realize you jinxed me, right? Because you made fun of me being late. And then the universe conspired against me to make me late. And it was a conspiracy. Like, I usually don't go for conspiracies. I actually play, like, in raiding, I play a Beastmaster Hunter because I'm bad at the game, Ryan. I'm not a good player. I wish I was good, but the game is... Good night, Nick, and I'm sorry this was so late. I promise I'll have a VOD for you, and happy farming. Hey, Vincent, how you doing? But yeah, I can go over what happened, why this stream is so late, because it was sad. So first, somebody asked me why Tesla stock went up. And of course, that meant I had to respond with, oh, it's because it's a cult of personality around, Tesla. That, that's the whole thing. It's a cult of personality. Even if the numbers are bad, people pretend like it's good. Because they didn't understand it. Our Druid is meta right now. And then what that led to was then I had to find the video by Folding Ideas. It's the video on crypto. But he has a good section in the video on crypto about how basically crypto is always positive. Yeah, that's why it's a cult of personality. It's overvalued because the fundamentals are people will say it's a technology company because they want the 20x multiplier, but it's fundamentally, in terms of revenue right now, a car company because that's where they make their money. Okay? And whether or not they can do the FSD thing, I'm not getting into that, but that's how they do their valuation because, if we do FSD, we can do this and that, and, But anyways, there's a folding at home video that covers crypto, and about an hour-ish in, there's a section on how crypto's always positive. And the thing with crypto is you can't short it. A lot of it does come from selling environmental credits, which actually isn't inherently a bad thing because, I feel like that's actually a good thing that happens. But yeah, that does also mean that as other car companies make better EVs, that undercuts Tesla's position in the market. So yes. Yeah, there are, because you can still do. I think it's more mature now. This video is a little old. It was back when the NFTs were all the things. So this is like 2021. There are ways to short it. As long as you can borrow it and sell it, you can short it, right? I just don't know if a lot of institutional investors like Coinbase and stuff like that support taking short positions. I think they actually do more now because they do let you loan it out, and that's all shorting is if I loan it to you, you take it, sell it to somebody, and then buy it back and pay me back when it falls. Regardless, the video goes into the hype cycle and how important hype is, and I use the video to explain that just like how things in crypto, rely on hype, Tesla's no different, right? Wow, damn, Virus, congratulations. I did not do that. If I was able to do that, I'd be a very happy man. My problem is I was always late. By the time I got the news, the action already happened. Kind of the story of a lot of my life. But anyways, I just used that video. But then I started watching the video and I got distracted. And then when I realized, oh shoot, I gotta go get my food, I went, well, hopefully you made the 100, you kept the 100K, you didn't try to turn 100K into $1 million and then it went back to zero. But anyways, I then checked my lab speed-ups. I had 30 minutes. I wasn't going to be able to go to the store, get food, eat food, come back in 30 minutes. So I had to wait for my lab speed-up. Oh, okay. You just got in at the... Yeah. Yeah, you got in at the hype cycle. I made a tiny bit of money with GameStop. Yeah, exactly. They try to build your confidence up, and then you get rug pulled. It's a confidence game a lot of the time. Okay, we finally capped out here. We're back at normal speed. Oh, I need to slow this down, I think. Is this a slowdown tournament? This is a slowdown tournament. No, it's fine. You can interrupt me. Yeah, it is a slowdown tournament. We're all going to wonder why we're slowing down, but that's okay. Let me finish my story, and then I'll explain why we slowed the game down. So then I had to wait for my lab speed up because I'm like, I can't really leave because I'm trying. Give me 1 second, Sar. We'll come back to that question. Give me like 2 minutes. Give me like 2 minutes, Sar. All right, fine. I'll do it now. So imagine you're on one side of a 10-meter table, okay? And then the way the game works is if you're moving between frames at 11 meters per second and you're on one side of a 10-meter table, on the next frame, you're going to be on the other side of that table, and the game is never going to resolve the collision between you and the table. And then if you cut the game speed in half, now you're moving 5.5 meters between frames. So now you're on one side of the table, and it's a 10-meter table, so you move 5.5 meters on the next frame, and the game is forced to handle the collision between you and the table. And that's why we slow the game speed down, to force the game to handle those collisions. Thank you, Saw. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? So anyways, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta wait. Now that I got distracted on this other thing, I gotta wait for my lab speed up. Because my lab speed up, the timing right now is an hour late. Oh, well, thank you, Penguin. I'm sure you're messing with me, but I can't tell. So I'm gonna take it as sincere and thank you. That's just how it is. And honestly, if you watch a lot of older games, especially like from the NES era, like they get into more stuff like this, because basically if you can accelerate your character in a way that you're going fat. Damn, thank you, Virus. Thank you. Well, it works for the 9.5 meter table too. Oh, congrats, Clash. Welcome to Legends. But it also works in a lot of old games. I won't. That was an accident. Like, what happened is I clicked it, the pop-up came up, and I accidentally double-clicked on, and it popped up on remove. Hey, Nathan, how you doing? Oh, congrats, Crash, on your third place. Yeah, a lot of them are still, Henrik. But if you watch like how I learned about this was like a lot of games have things, and a great example of this is Super Metroid. They have this thing called Moonfall, right? And so if you get your Moonfall if you use Moonfall to get your acceleration up enough, and there's a certain place you can do it in the game, you can actually walk through the door and somehow jump or something, and you will clip. I don't think you jump. I don't know what you do. I'm not going to pretend I'm Mr. Speedrunner here, but I know that you clip through the floor. And then once you clip through the actual collision part, you just fall through the floor. Well, thank you, Virus. I really appreciate that. And that's just how it works. So yeah, and a lot of games still work like what Henrik was saying. A lot of physics is still bound to frame rate. There's been I don't want to say movement, but like newer game engines have tried to make it so you can separate the two things. There's like a engine that runs behind the scenes, which is sort of like, if you ever played, well, if you know Super Mario Brothers and how they have the frame, the frame bus, they have something like a lot of games have something similar that runs in the background like that. That's not tied to frame rate. Actually, World of Warcraft has spots like that too. Like, for example, you can only do certain skips in WoW Classic if you have enough FPS. I think, for example, if you're doing a shortcut for Alliance, it's like to bypass the wetlands or something like that. There's a certain spot you have to have your FPS over like 500 to actually be able to wall climb. Are you leaving, Christian? I'm sorry I started late. Like I said, today was a comedy of errors. So then I had to wait for my speed ups. And as soon as my speed ups were done and I handled it, I went to the store. And then of course I went to the store, placed my order, got my food, sat down, ate my food. Cause like I eat my food at the store. Good night, Christian. Thank you for watching and happy farming. I'll of course have a VOD for you if you care to continue this. And then of course I eat my food at the store so I don't bring trash home with me. And then I just came home, and then when I got home, nature called, and I'm like, well, nature calls, I need to answer, and I answered nature, and then we're here. But I had to walk to the store, so it takes a bit. Wow, Vincent. Well, that's where I'm at. I'm working on duration too. Ampy's so big now; he's such a big boy. But yeah, I also kind of agree too that bot respec is just like you're not gonna get a lot of mileage out of that. Because the thing is, you're gonna switch from gold bot and Ampy bot to Ampy bot being totally maxed, and then you pick up what Thunderbot, Flamebot. I think it's Thunderbot. And then after a certain amount of time, like Thunderbot's going to be maxed or whatever, or Flamebot or whatever, who's second place. And then what are you really respecking for? Obviously, they'll probably add another bot, and he's going to be Cellbot. And then if they add Cellbot, then yeah, it makes sense, because then you respec Coinbot and Cellbot to get a different bot. It is a nice feature to have, but 100 keys is pretty steep. Nah, Add Gem Collector wouldn't be a bot. It would just be a key thing where the gems just flow into your account. That's what I would think would be interesting, would be a sell bot. Because then there's a reason, right? Now you have 2 econ bots you would want to have on farming. You'd have 2, you'd want to... I mean, obviously, neither of them does anything for the tournament. I probably shouldn't give FUDs all these ideas. Dude, I would too, Virus. Let the gems just, like, trickle into my account, please. I mean, technically, I've already spent 100 gems letting them stack. I mean, 100 keys. What's another 200 keys for just auto pickup? How much does bot respec cost? Isn't it 100 keys? I want to say it's 100 keys. I will say this. If you were going to... Wait. Oh, wait. You only get 1 respec per event, right? You only get 1 respec per event, so you'd have to have the bot specs. Because you can't just respec it like an unlimited number of times, right? Christopher, yes, I actually achieved monetization on YouTube. Once you have over 1,000 subscribers, you can be monetized on YouTube. So I've been monetized for, I think, a year? I don't know if it was a year. I have been monetized for at least a little bit of while. Actually, more than a year. Oh, yes, thank you, Vincent. Please do like the stream. It does help me out a lot. Really appreciate you guys all showing up. And again, like, sorry I'm late. Like, sometimes life just throws a curveball at you, and then you get curved. And I still have to type up the extra expectation for, not expectation, but the example that's not Tesla related, which is actually Herbalife. Because Herbalife actually parallels extremely well to what happened, what is sort of happening with Tesla. If you guys don't know the history of Herbalife, Herbalife is basically a MLM that's somehow legal in America. basically in like 2012, I want to say, there was it 2012? I think it was. At some point in the not so... wait, what do you mean? How is my attack so high? Hi, Shadowbow, how you doing? Oh, you mean my damage? I have project funding on. I am funded. I have project funding, I have the damage card mastery, and I have the demon mode mastery right now. So all that is stacking to get me up to the... I always forget it's right there. All that's stacking to get me up that high. And also Berserk, because I have been attacked, unfortunately. As you can see from the weakened state of my tower. But anyways, Herbalife is a great example of this in terms of it's an MLM. Bill Ackman did all this research on Herbalife and made a video and a documentary about how much of it's a MLM. And basically what he did was short the stock. Carl Icahn decided, he's another big investor, he decided he's going to take the opposite side of Ackman. And he said, I'm buying the stock, and he went bull on the stock. And there's a long documented struggle of Ackman, and Ackman was technically correct, which is great, but you have to remember, the market can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Eventually, Ackman was forced to sell his position, or actually he shorted it, so he really bought the stock back at a loss to close his position. Close his position is a more appropriate term. And Icahn won, and then he exited his position shortly after that, because of course it was just a thing to go against. But the purpose of that is Ackman was FUD, and Icahn was hype, and hype won. And I feel like that's like when you look at stuff like Tesla and stuff like that, you can really see the power of hype. So project funding is the module. It was the banner module that launched with the update back in March. It increases your damage by the multiplier of your, not multiplier, excuse me, by the number of digits of your cash. So I have 8 billion right now, so this is a 10x damage multiplier. It is, I can't really open the module screen right now. We can look at it at the end, but that's all it does. But it's extremely powerful because it's basically a 10x damage multiplier, and the only time you should not use it in the tournament is when there's the ultimate weapon erosion thing. So as long as we're not eroding, you can use it. It only scales at the number of digits, so there's no like partial credit for a, like I'm at 8 right now. I don't get 8/10 credit, right? So right now I'm not going to get like, it's not 10 and 8/10, right? Wait, I am wrong? All right, well I guess I'm wrong. Oh, it is partial credit. Okay, well apparently I'm wrong. My bad. Okay, it's log cache. My bad. Thanks for correcting me. You know, I don't even... I'm not even used to looking at my damage, so I didn't notice. Sometimes I get it wrong. I never even noticed that it slowly climbed like that. I didn't know that. That's good to know. I assumed it just counted the... I assumed it was coded like the sloppy way, and it just counted the number of digits, and that was what... And I didn't know it was the log function. How naive of me. Thinking that they would half-ass something as important as project funding. I mean, it's crept up, and it's up to 14 now. I didn't even realize it. So Shadow, because of this tournament, it's worth it because the extra damage just works out. So because Fast Ultimate is going to bypass my black hole anyways. And anything else is going to, like, I think there's I forget what the other one is. It's going to bypass it anyways. So you just have, and you're doing 10 times as much damage, so it's that much easier to kill them. And that's just the gambit you're going with. Yeah, and so as long as you're not dealing with ultimate weapon erosion, which I have to use Galaxy Compressor for that one, because it will drop my Chrono Field. As long as your Chrono Field stays up, you're good. And Cuxon, the way Berserk works, and I can actually show you by clicking my damage, is that every time you get hit, this damage is absorbed as part of Berserk. And this damage that is absorbed starts creating this multiplier down here. So it's basically the more you get hit, it's sort of, you get enraged effectively, and increases your damage up to a point. Joshua, I did, but I was in a rush to, I had a busy day at work, and I knew I was going to stream today. I can look at it in a minute. Ghetto, our ultimate weapons are a little different. Ghetto has much bigger ultimate weapons than mine. I don't know that I could last without my Chrono Field, is what I'm trying to say, Ghetto. I mean, we could try it one time, because I could always do 2. Obviously, I can't do 2 runs today, but it's reasonable enough for me to do 2 runs, and we can try it both ways at this point. And hey, Ned, how you doing? Uh-oh, there went my extra life. All right, we have to pay attention. Hold on. The boss is coming. Well, I'm doing the best with it, but Ghetto is... Look, Ghetto has bigger ultimate weapons, and he also is better at using them. I don't know what to say. He gets like 3,000 plus waves every tournament. What's your Chrono Field at, Ghetto? I imagine you just are at send it territory. Right, yes, it's like once you start stacking Berserk, it stays stacked. Well, we're all hoping to see the last 2. All right, come on! Smart missiles, don't fail me! All right, well, they did what they were going to do. Whether or not, I mean, it was enough for that time. Yeah, basically, Berserk is just like, once you get hit, you just get this damage boost. So you're going to get to a point, Cuxton, where you just always want to run the Berserk card because it's just free damage. It's not really free damage. You have to get hit for it, but I mean, it's damage, you know. Depending on, I think you're still in the early part of the game, so it's not as viable at the early part of the game because EHP is like really strong at the start of the game because so much of your damage comes from ultimate weapons. Like your damage scaling literally caps. You can only scale so much without, you know, ultimate weapons and spending stones and card masteries and stuff like that. I mean, that's true, Penguin. You can do that. You can actually swap it in later. Is it retroactive? Like you could probably start with Cash and switch it to Berserk, to be honest with you, because Cash... I mean, Cash works for me now because my project is being funded, but, you know, if you're not running Project Fund. Okay, so it's not... So, but again, once you start getting hit, it's going to stack up pretty quick. I didn't know that, because that would have been a good card to swap out between my 2 sets. But, I mean, now I don't need to. I still have 1 card slot left to get, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, you have to micro more when you don't have... Oh, good. That'll help you out a lot, synchronizing. And then eventually you can get MVN. Oh, you got that, Ghetto? How do you like it? I didn't think I needed that because of it would just happen well, I guess it probably doesn't happen as easily for you anymore. For me, it just still happens. And this is also where my you can see the weakness in my ILM, because if I had a few more mines, that would help me a little bit here. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I heard it was for Devo only, so that's well, he's talking about the Berserk boost, not the damage slider. Yes, Orem. Give me 1 sec. So we come over here. And there it is. And my SLA bonus is this high because I'm stacking SLA and Super Tower. So this is the Super Tower card mastery also stacking with my Spotlight bonus. Oh. Yeah, I didn't think you would need the damage slider, Ghetto. So my SLA bonus is actually a base of like 20 something. And so it gets the 7x multiplier from Super Tower, and Super Tower also multiplies all my ultimate weapons by 7x too. And with max Super Tower card mastery, I have basically permanent Super Tower. That's why my tower is always popping off. That's why I get this that's why I like the Dark Tower, is because I get this permanent effect of the waves. I think it looks cool. I don't need a fancy tower. I just want the simple one. I like the simple things. Oh, I do have the max Super Tower card. I started researching that before I was going to get the mastery, because that actually is a huge boost. So you'll get it higher and higher as you go. It's another one of those things to look forward to, you know. A lot of growth, which is nice. I'm kind of running out of growth. Yeah, so ST Mastery is basically a percentage of your Super Tower card bonus. So you want to have your Super Tower card bonus maxed because it's a percentage of that. So like I think mine is 11x. I can't really look right now, but my research is maxed. I think mine is 11x. So you know, if we can just hold on for another 300 waves, I'll have my wings back, which would really help. Wait, where did all my coins go? Did I just lose coins? I had more than a... Oh, no. Okay, I had a billion. I had a billion at start. No, I'm misremembering. I actually had gotten it down to a billion, so I'm up to a trillion. That's why I lost digit. Oh, congrats, Ghetto! That'll be nice to have your crit factor maxed. No, it's just me misremembering. I was actually under a trillion, and now I have a trillion, so that's the digits. I'm not used to actually making coins in the tournament. I'm gonna check my DMs real quick, Josh, so I can look at your message. I know I did see you send it. Virus, I have tried farming tier 14. When I did the comparison minus what my intro sprint did, I made 600 I was actually going to cover this in the next video. But I'll cover it now, so not a big deal. When I did Wait, why do you hate me? What did I do? Is it because I did math? Oh. Well, do you like the game? It's a fun little game. You run around, you're a ninja, you attack things. You get progress even when you're offline. It has an actual offline mode. Oh, damn, you're having the reset problem again? Well, you don't have to, you don't have, well, if you're actually going to play it, you have to run the game. So yeah, you can't play, wait. Sorry, get a third tablet. Get a tablet, treat yourself. Treat yourself to a nice tablet for Easter. Sorry, it's an Easter present. You can get a nice tablet. Wait. If you have games running on both your phones, what's your second tower account doing? Oh, a OnePlus. Oh, that's expensive. That looks like a nice tablet, though. Oh, okay, you can do split screen. All right, you're good. You're good then. I mean, if you've watched my Idol Slayer videos, like, Idol Slayer is like the game that sometimes you get a streak on, and like the streak doesn't stop for like a half hour. Because you'll start getting like, oh, I got a coin multiplier. Oh, it got extended. Oh, I got a soul multiplier. Oh, that got extended. Oh, now I have to ascend. Oh, well, now that I ascended, I got to rebuild my equipment. Oh, now that I rebuilt my equipment, oh, I got another coin multiplier. Oh, now I got another soul multiplier. Oh, well, now I have to ascend again. And you'll get in that loop trying to quit. And it's happened to me. Even in the videos, like sometimes I'll start playing and be like, okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up now. Oh, wow. Okay, for $479, that's a really good deal. It was showing me a price of $800, which was like, I was like, that's a lot for a tablet. But 480 is not bad. Okay, sorry, there was one episode, Sar, and I kid you not, I was getting ready to end the video, and somebody in my comments was like, you said you were going to end the video, and now I looked at the timer, and there was still 30 minutes to go. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think what I think it is I got a chest hunt. I did the chest hunt. I got so many souls, then I ascended. Then once I ascended, then I had to basically rebuild my equipment. Then I got another soul multiplier. And it was just like this crazy chain of events. And then, sometimes when you want something to happen in the game, nothing happens. Because I have another video where I just wanted one soul multiplier, and literally it was a half hour waiting for one soul multiplier. Well, that's life. What tablet did you get, Christopher? And congrats on the spear. Oh, it's only 5. Okay, I don't know. I just Googled it. I Googled it, and who lied to me? Oh, shoot. 1290? Rank 10? I mean, I knew this was going to be a tough bracket. You see what happened, right? You see it? I just needed one more wave, guys. Yeah, what are the odds of tying for 8th with 1290? Well, no, we're going to do something else. I don't want to call it just yet. We can, at the very least, we're going to respec the farm. Well, wait. I can't run it back. The tournament's over. It's frozen. When did you start your bracket, Ghetto? Because apparently I picked the wrong time. It happens. I mean, you gotta take the, like, I got 2nd, 5th, and now 9th. I mean, these things happen, you know. Sometimes you gotta take your lumps. Oh damn, you got a good bracket at the start. I've never tried at the start. All right, so we can at least... Do I want to push anything? So, Josh, you haven't had any luck with them getting you sorted out on why your cloud save isn't working? Because I really don't know what to say to that, to be honest with you. You know what we can do? We can do a tier 17, because my highest wave is 1050, so that'll be just like another little mini tournament. I don't have anywhere to go right now. I got food. So we'll run this. We'll see what happens. That is wild, dude. I don't know why that's happening to you. Yeah, it makes sense, Ghetto. You're a big fish. I'm a little minnow. Minnows get scared of the sea. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, we don't want to go that slow. I actually don't know. Should I go check? No, I went to the store beforehand, Clouded. I went and got something to eat beforehand. That was a whole thing. That's why the stream was late. I went to get some food. So, there was a comedy of errors. Number one was I had to link something about, somebody was talking about Tesla stock, and I linked them a video about that. Then I started watching the video. Then, by the time I realized I got to get to the store to get some food. Okay, Christopher, I'll see you in 15. Yeah, I figured it's a gamble. I mean, it's a gamble, well, not always any time, but I feel like it's always a bit of a gamble with the brackets. No, well, they sell food at the store. That's why I had to go there to get food. And they also sell tables, but also food. Food was why I was there. I have a bunch of tables already. But they're not 10-meter tables. They are 2-meter tables. But I have 4 of them, so it's like I have an 8-meter table. No, they're only 2 meters. And they're not round tables either. They're rectangular tables. A 10-meter table I could not fit through my door. It'd have to come in pieces. Because a door in America is 6'8". That's the default size of a door. So to get it, it's so well, no, I had to walk to the store. The store's like not in my kitchen. Then I gotta place my order. Then they gotta make the food. Then I eat the food there because I don't want to bring the food home with me and just bring garbage into my apartment. Not that I eat garbage, but after you eat the food, there's garbage left over. Then I had to walk back home. And so it's like a whole process. It's tough being, it's tough out there for us bachelors that live alone. But, you know, so an American door is 6'8", which I do believe is about 2 meters. So to bring a 10-meter table in, you need to somehow break it into 2-meter sections. And it'd have to be like, you'd have to like assemble it like a table with like a leaf in it. You know? That'd be really wild. That would be enormous project. I don't even know how you would do all that. 10 meters, that's like 40, that's like 33 foot. All right, thank you for stopping by, Ghetto. You have a great evening. So that's like 33 foot. So you need a, I don't even have a room big enough to put a 10-meter table in. Wow, my apartment's small now. That's okay, I like my small apartment. Wow. For a 10-meter table to work, you need like a 50 by 50 room. Huh. I guess you would need some kind of castle. I guess I never really like did the mental math of how big a 10-meter table really is. That's yeah. I mean, I knew it was big, but like there's, 10 yards, give or take, a little more than 10 yards. Those are my American units. I guess the table is like 1/10 of a football field. A little more than 1/10 of a football field. I never realized just how big of a room you'd have to bring it. And not only that, you'd have to bring the 10-meter table in sections. And you probably wouldn't even want to do it in 2 meter. You probably want to do it in like 1 meter sections, 1 meter in diameter, just so it's not super heavy. And then you'd have to merge the table together. Wow. And you have this massive, either that or well, could you do that? I guess you could. I guess you could you could make a wood workshop in the room, right? Or actually, while you're building the house, you build the table in the room. I used to live in a 450 square foot apartment. And I probably had a room that was like where I lived in that was like 20 by 15. And that couldn't even fit my 10-meter table. Wow, that thing is enormous. I need to find a place that has a conference room with a 10-meter table and figure out how to rent it out. If Maria comes to visit, we're going to go find a 10-meter table and do a whole thing there. I didn't even realize how big it is. Yeah, we're gonna do a live stream with the table. We're not gonna do that on the table. You have to let you know, Orm, if you've seen a 10-meter table, because I'm sure I've worked at places that have had tables that were like probably 50 foot long, but they weren't round tables, right? They were rectangular tables that were just really long. But I've never, I can't think of when I've seen a big round table. Because even the ones I think of with like a leaf in the center, they usually end up being more rectangular than round. Holy crap, Henrik. That is like almost my lifetime coins in one farm. Holy. 241. Jeez. Ghetto didn't tell us if he crossed 200 quadrillion. I should ask King Arthur. He's a king, though, You got to remember, guys, I'm still a common man. King Arthur's a king. Now I'm Googling largest round table size. Because I guess it does become like a little inefficient to have a table that round. Because, like, you know, your arms are only so long, right? How does anybody get to the center of that table? Really? How, like, what range and orb placement have you found helps out a lot? So a 2 meter table, a 1.8 meter table it seats 8 to 10 people. And you need a room that's 4.2, roughly 4.3 meters by 4.3 meters. Oh my god, this would be crazy if I had to, like, special order a 10-meter table. No, I haven't seen the movie Dr. Strangle. Oh, Henrik, so you're doing the free ups thing, so you can manipulate your range down to the exact amount you want. That is really interesting. Because, yeah, I guess that's a thing you can do. I could do it too once I get the free up card. Okay, let me. Oh, the movie. Okay, Dr. Strangelove. It didn't register. Oh, that is a big table. Yeah, that is a huge table. You are right about that table. So if we assume, how many people are around this table? That might actually be a 10-meter table. Oh, Henrik, that's really interesting. Do you do knockback or no? Because there was somebody who... No, never mind. You probably have knockback, I would assume. That actually, like I don't know that that's a 10-meter table, but that probably looks pretty close to a 10-meter table. Because if you assume, like, one of those guys, right? How wide is a person? 20 centimeters, maybe? How wide would it... Well, a chair is usually like 36 centimeters. So if that's 36... One of those chairs is probably 36 centimeters. Or maybe 33 centimeters. We'll go with 36. How many chairs would be that table? We need to try and do it... Oh, it's going to be distorted because of the angle of looking at the table. So we'd have to... Is there a shot from above? There's also the Warsaw Pact table, which actually is probably not a 10-meter table, but that is really interesting. It's built in sections. If you look up... It's only 22 foot? 22 foot? Wait, okay, yeah, 22 foot. Okay, so that would be Sorry, I did the math wrong. So it's like a 7-meter table. Oh, yeah. That table has nothing on our table. Yeah, that does leave a big void of space in the center, though. You notice that? But if you look at the Warsaw Pact table, this is even cooler. Well, cooler is probably... The table is cool. Obviously, the Warsaw Pact was, like, obviously that's a whole thing. We don't want to talk too much about history. Like, I'm not saying the Warsaw Pact was a bad thing, but obviously that's a difficult part of history, is what I'm trying to say. I've never seen Doctor Strangelove. Airbnb built a replica of the Doctor Strangelove table. In its office. No, I've never seen Doctor Strange. I want to be specific. Doctor Strangelove, the not the Marvel movie, the Doctor Strangelove, How I Learned How to Love the Bomb movie, that movie. I have seen the Doctor Strange Marvel movie. Who's Peter Sellers? I mean, I had to Google who Peter Sellers is. The interesting thing is what I'm seeing is a lot of these really large circular tables are actually come in like desks. Oh, really? Well, that explains it. I don't know a lot about people that play in movies. And then you build the desk into the circle, and then you can leave one of the desks out, and then people can enter the circle. So like our 10-meter table becomes like a coliseum. I have to look at Peter Sellers. Yeah, I'm not as cultured as I should be. Oh, it's a Stanley Kubrick film. I've heard a lot about it. He also did that one movie, The Shining. Oh, he died. Why do you have to do that? His face looks familiar. Favorite movie. All right, thank you, I'm sorry this was so late. And happy farming. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around, even though this is kind of late. My favorite movie is, like, not counting a major, like my favorite movie is Primer. I would say that's my favorite movie that I've ever seen. I also really liked the other movie he did, Upstream Color. But I wouldn't say Upstream Color is one of my favorite movies. My other favorite movies are... See, as a kid, it would be Terminator 2. As an adult, it's going to be Terminator, because I like the thriller aspect of Terminator. To me, makes more sense than the action part of Terminator 2. Not that I think Terminator 2 is a bad movie. It's a great action movie. But I like the thriller. We don't know what the Terminator is going to do. He's this unstoppable killing machine kind of thing from the first Terminator movie. And you can't really replicate that in the second Terminator movie as well, because they sent Arnold back with all this knowledge about the T-1000. Not that I don't love Terminator 2. It is an amazing action movie. But the reality is, it's only an action movie because the characters make decisions to get in trouble. Whereas in the original Terminator movie, they were literally on the run the entire time. They were just constantly being hunted by him. And so, even though, like, in the original Terminator movie, like, they make a mistake and that's why they're being hunted by him, but I still, like, I feel like the mistake in Terminator that leads to him picking the hunt back up was so believable that I give it a pass. Whereas Terminator 2, and I'm not saying they made, like, a bad decision in Terminator 2, but in Terminator 2, the stakes I felt like were lower because they put themselves back into the threat. And Predator. Predator is one of my other favorites. I was a big, like, when I was a kid, it was all Arnie movies. Predator, Last Action Hero. So as a kid, like, I'll tell you, as a kid, I absolutely hated the first Terminator movie because it was like, I liked Arnold as the good guy. I hated the first Terminator movie. I hated it because I hated seeing him be the bad guy. He was like my hero. I didn't see Total Recall until I was an adult because of that movie was a lot more, I guess, sexual. But it was Predator, Last Action Hero, which Last Action Hero, I love it. And so I loved Last Action Hero so much as a kid. Because that is a straight up kids movie for kids, right? Yes, you did. But my favorite part about Last Action Hero, well, not favorite, but like I just love the whole concept of the movie. But the craziest part to me was I'm watching Game of Thrones and I'm looking at Tyrion, or not, what was his name? It's not Tyrion. Is it Tyrion? It's not Tyrion Lannister. No, Tyrion Lannister is the imp. Who's the other one? Tywin. It's Tywin Lannister. I'm staring at Tywin Lannister. I'm like, I know that guy. I know him from somewhere. I can't think of who this guy is, but I know Tywin Lannister. And I'm sitting there. And I'm like, oh my God. He's the bad guy from Last Action Hero. And I love the spoofs in Last Action Hero where they go see the Terminator poster and they put Stallone on it. Oh my God, that was like chef's kiss. I love that scene. I didn't actually see Total Recall, like I said. Then when I got a bit older, I saw, what was that one? Commando? Which, pretty super generic action movie, but it was still fun, right? Oh, and don't forget Jingle All the Way. I saw Jingle All the Way. I saw, what was the other one? Running Man. Running Man, freaking hilarious. Running Man. It's not really a good movie, but it's so funny, right? Like, you can't say that Running Man is a good movie, but it is a funny movie. Food riot in progress. I saw Predator 2 as a kid. I didn't like Predator 2 as much. The Predator in the urban environment, it was cool, but not that cool. I really like Con Air. Con Air was a movie I loved as a kid. I still love it as an adult, but probably not as much. I used to watch Con Air all the time. Crank is a great movie. I when I saw that movie for the first time, I must have watched it twice. I'll tell you this, Primer is my favorite movie because I literally watched Primer. I watched the whole movie. I immediately turned around and watched it again. And the movie is only like an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not super long. But the twist at the end was so good. I watched it. I turned around and watched it again. It was it's a time travel movie, so if you don't like time travel movies, you won't like the movie, but I love time travel movies. And that movie just blew my mind. I think I turned around and watched it a third time after I watched it the first two times. But again, you have to be into time travel movies. There's a lot of stuff that happens, but it's not like an action movie. It's more of a cerebral film is how I would put it. True Lies, can't forget True Lies. That was a good one. I actually really enjoyed True Lies. That was such a good movie too, in my opinion. It's actually my mom's favorite movie. Twins was funny, but like it wouldn't be up there. But I just liked all these Arnold movies as a kid. As an adult, it's... Hey, Bunch, how you doing? Oh, I also remember I saw the Conan movies as a kid. Probably another good movie is Heat. If you haven't seen Heat, Heat is such a good movie. It has probably the most amazing gunfight. You probably have seen so many clips. The gunfight in that movie is absolutely insane. And I believe it was based on a shootout that happened in Miami. If I'm not mistaken. There was an actual shootout like that between the FBI and some bank robbers. And I guarantee you have seen some of the clips of that movie because it's such a well done shootout. Though I'll be honest, I was disappointed in the ending at Heat. I liked Eraser, but Eraser wasn't one of his best movies. I'll be honest, I haven't seen The Sixth Day, and Collateral, I think Collateral, yeah, I saw Collateral Damage, it was okay. Yes, in the Miami shootout, the FBI only had handguns and shotguns. They actually were so underpowered because at that time the FBI was mostly accountants and people like that. So, like, back then, the FBI, like, they even have a write-up of it. One agent had taken his gun out, placed it in his lap, and he was, like, the passenger in the car, and the car came to an abrupt stop, and so his gun fell out of his lap, and he couldn't find it, so he ran behind a building and hid. That was one of them, because they just weren't trained in engaging and dealing with a shooter. And so they had to actually go to a local armory during the shootout in Miami, actually equip themselves with some automatic or some rifles. I don't know if they were automatic rifles. And they actually had to equip themselves with some rifles to try and take these guys out, because it was two bank robbers and they had body armor on, and they actually and part of it too was not only did they have body armor, but they also had so much adrenaline in them from the gunfight that it was like a really drawn out gunfight between them. And I believe that shootout in Miami is what inspired the scene in Heat, if I'm not mistaken. But in Heat, they actually do have full auto weapons. And there's also, so the funny thing was, I wasn't as big of a Stallone, I didn't see as many Stallone movies, because, like, there was a big thing back in, like, so these are a lot of movies my dad showed me, right? So these are, like, early, so my dad, it would be early 80s movies that he'd show us a lot. And so we didn't see as much of Stallone, because Stallone had, like, Rambo. Now, of course, we saw Rocky and all the Rocky movies and all that. What was the other ones? Rocky was a big one. Rocky's a good movie. I probably wouldn't say Rocky's one of my favorite movies, but as a kid, I really liked Rocky 4. But Rocky 4, pretty obvious, right? That was the Cold War movie. I wish there was a ranking. Okay, is this the ranking? Adrian! Yeah, see, the thing with the first Rocky, it would have been a little too adult for me, but the fourth Rocky really wasn't really that adult, you know? How are these? There we go. Sort them by rate. All right, yeah, Terminator 2 is his best movie according to the IMDb, I think. Which makes sense. Terminator 2 was just such... the one thing I wish... I haven't seen The Professional. That's with, what is her name? Padme. What is Padme's name? Natalie Portman, thank you. I kept thinking it was... What is it? Natalie... what's the other one? I was mixing her up with Natalie Dormer. Because I'm like, I know it's not her. I know she's the Padme. Natalie Dormer is the Game of Thrones chick. She's not Padme. Also, Natalie Dormer is way too hot, just for the record. Wait, oh. So his number 4th rated movie is T2 3D, which I, of course, have seen. Like, I went and did that, I think that was at Universal Studios. Which was the ride at Universal Studios, which was pretty cool, but I don't know that I would say it was his 4th best movie. Annihilation. Oh, I like sci-fi. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen it. Well, new-ish. I like sci-fi movies. Oh, we're actually doing pretty good. We're doing better than I thought at this push here. We're pushing tier 17. I haven't seen Annihilation. Oh, and then, of course, the Jurassic Park. I really like Jurassic Park. Even though I saw Jurassic Park as a kid, because, of course, everybody saw it as a kid because dinosaurs, right? As an adult, knowing what was in that movie, oh my God, I would not have let me see it as a kid. Because you think it's a dinosaur movie, right? Not a thriller about killer dinosaurs. Oh, shoot. Yeah, thank you, Sar. I am asleep at the wheel here. Well, that wasn't a good pick. Oh, are we still... Sorry, I got distracted with movies. Well, at least we got 4 extra smart missiles. You know, that's what we need. We need a tournament spec for auto pick. Or a push spec. I guess it wouldn't be a tournament spec, but a push spec for auto pick. I would spend gems on that. Hey, it's fine. I actually beat my record, so I can't complain. Plus, we could always run it again. I mean, it's a late stream, you know. I told you guys that even if we did the tournament quicker, that we would still, you know, have try to have a 2-hour stream. Just even if we're doing pushing or something like that. Yeah, I would like that too, just for stuff like this. Wait. Where did... Oh. I had to go find my drink. I had a terrible bracket too, Bunch. I had an absolutely atrocious bracket. I got 9th. I got 9th with 1290. I tied the person in 8th. I wish I would have kept the ties where the ties got the higher rank. Just as long as it's only a 2-person tie. If it was more than 2 people, you got the lower one. That way people wouldn't be incentivized to all, you know, tie for first. But, you know, if 2 people tied, like, obviously they can get the higher reward. 25 people, 30 people tying is no. I didn't like that, though. How they allowed ties, then the emergent game behavior was, okay, let's all tie. And then they're like, oh, we can't have that. You guys actually have to compete. Hey, Omega, how you doing? I'm sorry to hear you got 28. Oh, don't play the trailer. Don't spoil it for me. It'll be okay. We will overcome. Now I have to watch Doctor Strangelove. Oh, wow, I'm doing a lot better in damage here, too. Why is my... Oh, right, perks. Duh, I have perks. Duh. No, Ghetto had a good bracket, but he got first, so he usually gets first. I would have been third in Ghetto's bracket. And these things happen. It was kind of a gamble because I was like, well, let me try queuing up at a different time, and it didn't work. It did not work. Nope, it did not. It'll be fine. 9th place isn't terrible. I can live with it. I mean, I guess I kind of have to live with it, but, you know, it'll be fine. It's about to become difficult decision time. Nah, we'll just wait. A biologist signs up for a dangerous secret expedition in which the laws of nature don't apply. That reminds me of Congo. Hold on to your butts. That was from Jurassic Park. So I tend to find that the best time for me to queue is basically to queue at off-peak hours. Oh, did you go on another bike ride, Omega? Why do you have goggle prints on your forehead? Do you wear goggles with your bike because to keep the bugs out of your eyes? Are there debris or trees? I don't know how wild it is up there. Oh, okay. Well, it's also almost summertime, right? So this is the time to do it. Especially considering you're way up in the north. Is there a lot of, like, wilderness up there? I don't know much about how Canada works. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's a lot of wilderness. I never had wilderness like that. I live in a city. I mean, I guess there is, like... So I have a strip of wilderness between me and the store next door where the raccoons live. And sometimes I scare the raccoons, which is good. Because if you're scaring the raccoons, that means they don't have rabies. if they're coming up and biting you, that means you're going to get a lot of shots. And the last thing I want to be is, hello and welcome back to I just got 12 rabies shots. No, rabies. And I think animals in the wild, like, they won't have babies if they're scared. But there's a whole raccoon family. I'm assuming it's a dad and a mom and babies and everything. But if a raccoon isn't scared of you, that means it's most likely rabid. And if it's rabid, then you do not want that. That is only bad things come from that. It's funny because they live in the little strip of wilderness that I walk by when I go to the store. So I'll be walking by the tree and I'll hear the rustle in the leaves. And then I've watched them climb up the tree and look back at me. Okay, jackass, air horn, golf. The men wear camouflage uniforms to fit in with the surrounding trees, and using two bright blue air horns attempt to distract the much older golfers into messing up their shots by blowing the horn just before they swing their clubs. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, man, they're coming into the bushes after him. Oh, here goes the guy with the golf balls. He starts hitting golf balls toward him. Damn. What a wild world. Why can I not get the perk wave requirement? Come on. Does anybody play Balatro? We are pushing tier 17, Cuxon. So I'm trying to see if I can get a new milestone record in tier 17. I figure since we did the tournament and that went the way it did, we'll try a milestone run. I don't know that we'll get any new milestones, but, you know, we can give it a try. I actually don't remember the milestone markers. Oh, Balatro is the roguelike poker-ish game. Because I like, I'll be honest, I don't even own the game, but I'll watch people play it on YouTube. It's not my type of roguelike game. I prefer a roguelite game where things start out hard and then you accumulate more and more power to overcome the difficulty. Whereas a roguelike game requires you to actually get better. I'm still amazed that he made a game that was so intriguing. I mean, they even have like a multiplayer mod for Balatro. And somebody had a bunch of his videos get flagged for gambling. That's what it was. Really? Real money? That would be hilarious, man. Oh my God, could you imagine the microtransactions? You want to buy this Joker? It's 10 real dollars. So I don't know what was up with Peggy and their rating. Yeah, but everybody loves gambling as long as it's loot boxes. Loot boxes is totally fine, man. And to be fair, gambling has always been targeted at children. Loot boxes aren't anything new. The original loot box was trading card packs. That was the physical loot box back in the day that we all gambled with. I did trading cards. Everybody I know did trading cards. My dad did trading cards. My dad's brothers did trading cards. Everybody got sucked into the trading card thing. That was the first loot box. Little bits of cardboard. In fact, I think my grandparents did trading cards. And the thing was, what they would do is you collect all the first, they'd basically collect the entire first season. Or not the first season. They would collect all the cards. And then when the next season came out, they would throw all the old cards away. Omega, when I was a kid, I thought the video games I owned would be an investment because, and they actually, if I still had them, they probably would be. Probably not the Probably not the PlayStation games, but I would say my NES and Super Nintendo games probably were. So it's like hard to be like against loot boxes when trading card packs is the same thing to me. You know, it's an unknown reward. You're going to get something, you know. I actually used to talk about how I was going to keep all my old video games as an investment. And I probably, like, I don't know that I would have beat inflation, but if I had kept all the manuals and everything like that, yeah, I mean, they do ruin the games they're in, but I'm just saying, like, I'm talking strictly from the gambling perspective, right? From the gambling perspective, they're no different than trading card packs, in my opinion. So it's not really something we haven't been subjecting kids to through the ages. You know, what is more my overarching point. Obviously, loot boxes have a lot of other problems that trading cards don't have, in terms of, like, you buy the trading cards, you know you're getting, you know, X number of cards and stuff like that, and there's no, you don't buy a currency to buy the cards, and there's, you know, you're not doing any of that stuff. But I was just talking about from the gambling thing, because a lot of people focus on the gambling, and the reality is, well, you know, we had trading packs, and we've let that. And I'm not saying we shouldn't rein it in either. This is not an excuse that it shouldn't be reined in. It's just something like, this isn't a newish thing to me. It's probably worse because they know how well it works, because they looked at trading cards and like, oh wow, we can really do. I don't know that we can regulate them out of existence. I just don't see a reality where that happens. I think more realistic is that they are in Belgium, that's correct. But I think more realistic. I don't play games with loot box. I take that back. The last time I had a loot box would be Idle Kingdom Defense. When I played Idle Kingdom Defense, it's not impossible to regulate them out, because you can specifically say. But again, like, what happens is, like, for example, they're regulated in France, and so what Valve did is said, okay, well, now you can look in the loot box, you can see what it is, and you can either buy what it is, and then if you do that, you get to see what's in the next one, or you don't buy what's in it. And that's what Valve did. That's how Valve solved their loot box problem, and I think it was France. So now the loot box isn't a surprise anymore. You know exactly what you're going to get. And if you decide to purchase it, you can. But the gimmick is you can't purchase the next one. You can't open a different... You can't not open the loot box that they have shown you the result of. And there was a lot of criticism towards Valve about that. Well, there was some criticism towards Valve about that. Because apparently that's how casinos... Certain casinos operate that way, where you see the results of the slot, and you can't see the next result until you either decide to play the one that's showing. Which is sort of a very interesting way of getting around the gambling problem, right? I don't know how it holds up for actual gambling. I mean, the only game I played that had a lot of that actually was loot box heavy was Overwatch. But the reality was they gave you so many free loot boxes, I never felt the need to buy them. You know, it was like, oh, I get so many free loot boxes. Well, it's just a matter of time until I get what I want, you know. I actually never even spent my in-game currency, because, like, if you get duplicates, you get currency in the game. I never even spent my in-game currency in... Oh, I got a perk. I never even spent it in Overwatch because I had so much. It was like, why would I spend this? See, I haven't played League. League being a PvP game was just like I don't really like PvP games. Because the problem with a PvP game is I have a chance to win or lose. And I don't like losing, so I'd rather not play. And in League, there's not like you don't like, it's not like the more games I play, like I don't get any powers that carry over to the next game. So like there was no, like, I just, and plus I was playing World of Warcraft at the time. And like World of Warcraft, just like, yeah. I'll play World of Warcraft because you know what? I can always farm gold. I can always farm gold. I can always level characters. I can always work on professions. Honestly, it wasn't like I certainly had a toxic game in League because I didn't know what I was doing and accidentally bought the same thing twice, and I got absolutely ridiculed for it, but that's not what turned me off to the game. What turned me off to the game is that it's fundamentally a PvP game. And I don't, like, PvP games are great when you're winning, but they suck when you're losing. Yeah, you have to, like, for me, I have to, like, that's why I love Vampire Survivors. I have a 37 series on Vampire Survivors just because there was so much progression in that game. Between unlocking new characters, unlocking new combos, you know, doing all the little things in that game. I 100%ed the achievements in that game when it came out because it was just so much fun to progress through the game. I played Fortnite briefly, but my issue with Fortnite is, to me, Fortnite is the culmination of what I called slot machine gameplay. And to explain what I mean is that any battle royale game fundamentally basically boils down to they're able to abstract the skill away enough that it, like, basically it becomes like a slot machine, right? Like, you're gonna drop, you're gonna see if you get lucky. If you get something really lucky, you're gonna feel like you did well. And if you drop and there's just nothing good there that you want, you're gonna feel like you're unlucky. And so it's enough to obscure the fact that you aren't skilled enough to succeed, to make it feel more like it boils down to luck. And I feel like that makes it a more enjoyable experience. Yeah, right, exactly. If you didn't know how to build, you're dead. I mean, there's nothing, Christopher, there's nothing wrong with the game if you enjoy it. Like, if you can go play Fortnite and just have fun. Like when I first played Fortnite, I did have fun playing it, but I was playing PUBG, and when I thought about the gameplay loop, right, I'm gambling to see if I get a bunch of bad players to play with. If I get a bunch of bad players to play with, then I'm also gambling that I get good drops. And all of those layers built up on each other, that when I took a step back and looked at it objectively, I just called it slot machine gameplay. Because basically what I found myself doing is I would play another map, and if I could play another map, I always had a chance of doing well. Because there's always a chance I get a really good weapon and stuff like that, and then I could do really well. But I mean, if you enjoy that gameplay loop, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing fundamentally bad about that. A lot of games like League and stuff like that all try to encourage the one more game syndrome thing, where you just want to play one more game because you think it's going to be like better than the game you just played. Yeah, I was never that good of a builder, Omega. I never even got to that point, and now they have no build Fortnite. And like I said, it's not a bad game, it's just not a game for me. I would love a game like Fortnite if they let me play against all bots. That, to me, would be so much fun, especially if the bots were bad at the game. Because then it's just me versus AI, and that is always, to me, more fun, because I can choose the skill level of the AI, and the AI isn't going to try and be better than me. And, like, I actually enjoyed, when I used to play Heroes of the Storm. I enjoyed Heroes of the Storm more playing against AI. Because I could just goof off. Oh, really? There was a bot royale? Oh, well, that probably is a lot of fun to play then. Because not only that, you can let the bots run around and collect all the stuff for you. I didn't know they had that, Christopher. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like it'd be so much fun. Also, I have to say, Christopher, the Sabrina Carpenter thing. Omega, that's great. Yeah, so when Maria and I were playing Fortnite together, and we were playing a squad, and this squad of four people, not five, it was 4 people, it was 4v4, it was the 4-man groups, came up and they downed Maria, okay? So it's up to me, right? It's up to me to rescue Maria at this point. So already I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, and I built the slanty boy, and I built a wall behind the slanty boy, and so I don't know how I did this, because, well, I know how I did this. These guys were bots, clearly. And I walked around my building. I shot the one who followed me around the building, walked around it again, got behind the other 3, shot them from behind, climbed up the ramp, finished all 4 of them off. And then I went and I saved Maria, and I told Maria, don't ever expect me to do that again. I don't know how that happened. And then I found out later, of course, that they had bad players that were bots. Because it was so, she was like shocked, because she's like, how did you do that? And I'm just like, Maria, just don't expect me to do this again. This is just, I don't know what happened there. I don't know how I tricked them, but just don't expect me to be able to do that again. And Maria's actually better than me at the Battle Royale games. She used to do solo versus squads in PUBG, and she made so many of the, whatever the points were in PUBG, that she sold so many of the items in the Steam store that Steam was like, yeah, you've made too much money playing PUBG. We're going to need your tax information if you keep selling stuff. And she's like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not selling anything anymore. I don't want to give you my tax information. Because she would get like the aviator shades and sell them for like 20 euros. She was like, this is crazy. Who's buying my aviator shades for 20 euros? And I don't know how much she made. But she was, because she was just so good at, because she would play solo versus squads, and she could, I think she won a couple times. She got winner chicken dinner, which solo versus squad, she's like 1v4. Everybody's a team of 4 and she's a team of 1. And she was able to like clean up. And you get 4 times the points for doing that. And then she was actually like, she was upset because she's like, yeah, I can't sell this stuff anymore, but they disabled trading, so she couldn't even give it to me. She's like, yeah, because I got all these aviator shades and all this other stuff, and she's like, I can't even sell it. I mean, she's like, I can't even give it to you. And she's like, I can't sell it because of the Steam Marketplace tax. We actually, I'll say this. We had fun playing PUBG. My favorite memory of us playing PUBG, besides playing Battle Royale, besides the time I saved her. Yeah, I like that too. That's why I like Rogue light games, because you can build up, It's sort of like the tower, right? You get a currency that you can use in the game, you get a currency you can use out of the game, and you can slowly build yourself up. But my second favorite memory was we were playing PUBG. And so I was looting houses, she was looting houses, and I thought we had split up. Somebody runs into my house and I have the shotgun and I shoot her dead in the chest. Dead in the chest and down her. And Maria goes, "Why did you do that?" I go, "Maria, that was you? You scared me." And she just ran to the house without saying anything. Like, "Maria, we really have to communicate more," because she scared me. I thought she was another player. I shot her and I downed her because she just came blazing out of nowhere, and I thought she was another player. We're talking about PUBG, all clouded. I was playing PUBG with Maria. I'm like, "Maria, we have to work on," and this was like when we first met. This was like, I want to say 2017. And I'm like, "Maria, we have to work on our communication skills. You can't just run through the house and surprise me." Like, because when I was playing PUBG, man, that game was, I'm not going to say it was stressful, but I was on like high alert, man, because people were coming out of nowhere, getting into my house that I was camping in. And, you know, I was like wired. So when I was looting this house and I just see out of the corner of my eye somebody running, I just spin and I shoot. And I was sitting there going, "Oh, well, I didn't kill her. I downed her." Oh, thank you. So first off, I didn't kill her, I downed her. So if this even happened in real life, I would have been taking her to the hospital and she survived, okay? And I performed first aid after she scared me, and then she was fine. Then another team killed both of us, okay? It was so fun because it happened so fast. Like, I was in the house, I hear something, I turn around, somebody's entering the house, I shoot them dead in the chest, and then it was her. And I'm like, "Maria, oh my God, you can't scare me like this." No, it was not manslaughter because she lived. At worst, it would be negligent, probably assault with a deadly weapon. But it was an accident. It certainly wasn't reckless. She scared me, and I aimed, and I shot her right in the chest. And she was like, "Why did you shoot me?" I'm like, "I didn't know it was you. You just ran in here. I thought it was somebody else. You didn't say anything. You know I was over here." It was so funny. It was so funny because I'm like, "Oh my God, Marie, I'm so sorry. Don't scare me like that." I'm helping her up because, you know, she was down. She got to do the thing to help her back up. And I'm like, "We need to communicate better because you can't scare me like that when I have a firearm." Oh God, that was something else. That was something else, guys. And we just met, too. Like, this was when we were first starting to play together, and it was one of my first games in PUBG, my defense. So I wasn't like a seasoned veteran. She had been playing for a while. And I was just like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean to shoot you. Oh, Maria. You can't scare me like that." Oh, God. It was something else. Wow, we got further. I don't know. That's one of my funniest memories of her. Her shocking me like that. Depends on the state. Realistically, Omega, if I called the police and I said I feared for my life and she scared me and I feared for my life and I didn't realize it was her, I probably could get off because we have stand your ground in America. So stand your ground as long as you fear for your life and it's documented that you were in a fear. And obviously in that situation, I was afraid for my life because I thought she was an intruder. I'm not sure what I'm going to use my gems for yet, Christopher. We're waiting to see what happens with the banner. And the reality is, Omega, that the fact that stand your ground would cover something like that is insane. Because there's even groups that you can get like gun. I don't know that it's called gun insurance, but there's groups that you can buy insurance with, and they basically, if you accidentally shoot somebody, they give you a card to say, call the cops, say that you were scared for your life, and then call us as your lawyer. And there's a whole John Oliver episode on how dangerous stand your ground is. Because effectively, it lets you use deadly force if you're afraid. Yeah, welcome to America, Omega. Like I told you about Maria's dream, right? She had a dream. She came to visit me and we were getting mugged. And she's like, oh my God, you took me to my first American mugging. And I'm like, Maria, I don't think you understand how much crime there is in this country. It's really not that bad. I've never been mugged. I couldn't believe she dreamed that. She must think like America's like a war-torn hellhole. I'm gonna have to show her this because I told her our PUBG story because I felt so bad. I remember how bad I felt because I'm, oh my God, Maria, you scared me. And I was so tense playing that game. Like playing PUBG was like, oh well, there we go. Oh, range got me. Well, that was 10 death defies. Oh, we did get 2. Oh, ooh. All right. 1833. Oh, that doesn't mean I could do better here. We're gonna save this though. We're gonna save this one until I get the intro sprint up higher, because maybe we can get that cactus skin. Oh, okay. I got the tech tree skin. Okay, I didn't know I got that. All right. Really? Serbia? Wow. That's a little more Wild West in America. We're going to switch to event cards. There it is. Yeah, that's like the opposite of the Wild West. That's very civilized. But that's kind of crazy too. Like if you're, if you're in danger, because not, in my experience, generally people that break into your house are not like trying to have dinner with you. Hey, Jason, how you doing? We're going to see how this goes. We're doing a very specific experiment here. All right, good. The experiment is working. I mean, I will say in America, like I was always concerned about somebody breaking into my home and doing a home invasion because of all the stuff you see on TV. There's so many home invasions on TV in fictional shows. I want to emphasize in fictional shows. We're doing a little event grinding real quick. Because I need to get... Oh, that's a lot. But no, that's not too many. Oh, he's hugging me. And then he killed me. He hugged me to death. Not exactly, Nathan. There was a case in America where two people were arguing in front of a restaurant. One person said they were scared. They were arguing over the size of a dog. The guy got scared, got his gun, shot the other guy, and he was able to use stand your ground. I believe that happened in Georgia, but don't quote me on that. It was in the John Oliver episode. Really, Jason? You don't want to... No ads was the first thing I bought, Jason, just because it's such a huge quality of life improvement not to see the ads. That is kind of wild that he could get charged for restraining somebody that broke into his house. Because it's like, what are you supposed to do when somebody is in your house against your will, you know? I mean, to me, you have to, you don't have to, shoot them with your 50 cal, right? You don't have to shoot them with that, but you need to, at least restrain them. That's wild. I will say it does put an emphasis on de-escalation, which is great, but you can't always de-escalate yourself out of a situation. And that also assumes that everybody is trained in the proper de-escalation skills, you know what I mean? Yeah, it does vary state to state with the stand your ground, because every state has their own interpretation of the doctrine. One of the things in Omega is because of just the way America is, it's a lot more prevalent because we just, a lot of it has to do in America with the amount of violence and stuff like that is because we just don't have a strong social safety net. So when you don't have a strong social safety net, effectively, certain people feel like the society has abandoned them, and the reality is, somebody that feels like society has abandoned them has no incentive to play by the rules of society. And so it becomes kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I wouldn't say that he's a grifter. Most of his stuff is researched, as far as I know. Like, the stuff that I've watched from John Oliver, I've seen the sources and stuff like that. I actually looked up, so he did one on fans, in prison, and I actually looked one up of the sources, and I think he misinterpreted the study because I got the original paper from the guys that wrote it. And then later there was contradictory information about it. But I don't know, I tend to look up stuff like that. Like, I tend to use him like a Wikipedia article where I look at the sources he's using and then I go read the sources. I mean, that's what I do at Wikipedia. Really? Just turned their house into an Airbnb, huh? Oh, you know what? I guess we will do this. Excuse me. Change is set. Well, I'm glad it was just that, you know what I mean? I'm glad it kind of, one of those stories where it kind of works out, that's, that's understandable, you know what I mean? Because sometimes that happens, like, you can get in a bad situation and you don't have anywhere to turn. I'm not familiar with that one, Nathan. Oh, congrats, Ned. Wait, really? You can just bring a gun to high school in Serbia? That's how everything starts. Okay, I think I know which one you're referencing. I really I don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk about that one. Please not talk about that one. That's not an issue I really want to bring up. I know what you're referencing, but I know what he said, and he didn't say that. He said something else, but I really do not want to talk about that topic. Oh, it's like, oh, so it's like the Wild West there? Now that's the Wild West. Wait, didn't you guys have that shooting at the university, Cuxon? Was that in Serbia? It was semi-recent. Oh, that was in 2023. That is, wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It happened in 2023, and I'm like, oh my God. The Belgrade. I honestly thought it was sooner than that. I thought it wasn't, I didn't think it was in 2023. I remember hearing about that, and I was like, wow. And they talked about how Serbia has such a high gun ownership per capita. I think I heard about the Serbia protests, but I don't remember the context. Oh yeah, okay, so it was the anti-corruption protest. That's the other reason you guys were in the news. I mixed that up with the school shooting. That's my bad. Oh right, the railway station collapsed. Oh, I didn't know it was. I didn't know you guys got that from China's Belt and Road. I didn't know. I didn't know the whole thing. I heard about the. I heard about something collapsed, and it was really shady what had happened. But I didn't know it was from China's Belt and Road project. That is wild. Is that still ongoing? Oh yeah, it is. Oh wow, that happened back in November. I guess time flies. Wow. I didn't, that's crazy that I didn't know that it was related to the Belt and Roads. Because that does not look good. Wait, did I get censored? Uh-oh. Is Big C after me? Is Big C in the room with us? I knew it was a huge protest. Okay, so the protest was in March. Okay. Because I thought it was more recent, because the article I'm looking at says it started in November of 2024. But okay, that makes sense, because I did hear about the big protest, and I thought it was more recent than November. Okay, so it was March 15th. Wow, right around the Ides of March. Honestly, it's really sad to see how our governments are not investing in public infrastructure. It's terrible to see that. Because this public infrastructure is what builds the wealth of a nation. Probably soonish. We're probably soonish. I'm just starting a farm run, Christopher. So probably pretty soon. I was just looking this up because Cuxson mentioned it to me. And like I said, I was tangentially familiar with the protest. Like, I met someone, believe it or not, whose parents worked for the State Department in the United States. I only met her briefly. And she actually went to Serbia in like the 2000s when there was the Serbia-Bosnia thing. And she was telling me about how, like, you could see the bullet holes in the building and stuff like that still. It was pretty wild. Oh, come over to the BIA offices for a friendly chat. That's kind of wild. Wow. I didn't realize there was so much going on over there. I'm still, like, skimming the article. Wow, somebody hit some of the protesters with a car. That's crazy. Yeah, it's going through all of the different things that, like, I guess I really didn't realize this much was going on in Serbia. I apologize. I live in the United States. I can't pay attention to everything. We have a lot going on here, too, just so you know. Wow, you guys have been striking like crazy. I'm guessing 15's off 15 is that's the March thing. Oh, is YouTube okay? I didn't know. Okay, goodbye, Christopher. We're wrapping things up here, anyways. Good night, Christopher. Happy farming, and I'll see you next stream. You have a great evening and rest well. The 15's off 15, 15th for 15. Okay, I see. Wait, were you guys? Was this the one where they think they used a microwave weapon? Cuxon, is this the one where you guys were hit like with a sonic weapon or something? Jason, guns are such a complicated topic that okay, because I heard about the sonic weapon. I remember that now. Because it was like crazy. You just saw nothing part like the sea of people. Apparently, he unleashed a weapon that parted a people like they were the sea. Literally, we don't know because all we saw was the after effects of what he did. We're still investigating what Sonic did at this time. If you know anything about Sonic's weapons, please let us know, Omega. Wow, a 1300 kilometer cycling journey. No, we're talking about the protests in Serbia. This is about what happened in Serbia. Because Cuxon's from Serbia. Wow, that is wild. Wait. One of your slogans is The people rose up before the release of GTA 6? Is that true? Or is Wikipedia lying to me? I wouldn't be surprised, Jason, but I don't know about any sonic weapon. And I do know that, so I used to watch Modern Marvels on the History Channel. And in Modern Marvels, they had one that was on non-lethal weapons. Okay? And this was probably in the 2000s, I would say early 2000s. And they did feature a sonic weapon, but they also featured what I remember the most is a microwave weapon. And the microwave weapon basically set your, like, it didn't burn you, but it made your skin feel really itchy and then really hot, and it really irritated you to where you wanted to leave where it was. Oh, good night, Ned. Yeah, I probably should wrap things up here. I guess I let the stream go a little long. That's okay. This is a good place as any to stop it. But wait, did they really say the people rose up before the release of GTA 6? Because that's hilarious, kind of. That's kind of hilarious. It's sad. It's sad that it happened, but it's also hilarious to not even Saul will save you. I can't tell if this is like somebody trolling in the Wikipedia article. That's why I'm asking. I know that's the problem. It's like I can totally see trying to get something to go viral to say that the people rose like I can especially because this is a student-led protest, Omega, so I could legitimately see internet savvy students saying that, right? Like I can 100% see that as being a thing. I can also see that as some smartass editing the Wikipedia article to be funny. But it also is a meme as well. We got X before GTA 6. So I don't know. Well, that's the law, Omega. There's a law, and I can't remember which one it is, that says basically without knowing the intent of the person, something that is something can be both scandalous and like scandalous and like somebody can be both trolling or being sincere, and without knowing the intent of the person, it's impossible to understand. And I forget which one that was. Oh, somebody built a lobster crab. Not like a real one. They just glued all the parts of a crab and a lobster together. Yeah. I mean, that's what happened with Stephen Colbert. He got invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner because they thought he was actually a real conservative. When he was, like, joking the whole time. Omega, that was in, like, 2011. Sorry, that was 2006. My bad. 2006. 19 years ago. Oh, hey, Dumbledore, how you doing? Yeah, unfortunately, we're wrapping things up. You got here just at the tail end. Everything, unfortunately. So, I did say we were going to end it, and so we're going to go. I'm sorry to end it right now, Dumbledore, but I said I was going to end it about 5 minutes ago. I was waiting to hear back from Cuxon, but we will have to continue that conversation another time, it seems. But, that said, once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. No, I didn't, Cuxon. Is that really a thing? The GTA, we got the people rose up before GTA 6. Good night, Dumbledore, and happy farming. Sorry to you get here and we were going. Sorry, but it is pretty late actually. I can't tell. Is it real? Like, that to me is something students would do. You understand me? That's something students would do. So just say yes or no. Okay, so it is a thing. Okay. Okay. Internet is just merging with real life more and more every day. Thank you for confirming that, Cuxon. That's wild. It makes sense, though, because that's something you would say to try and get, attention, right? So, wow. What a world. Yeah, go ahead, Cuxon. Okay, I will give it a watch. But that's gonna be it tonight. I'll watch it. I'm assuming it's on YouTube, right? Okay, I'll give it a watch. Okay, I found it, living ironically in Europe. I see it. I'll give it a watch. Yeah, 22 minutes. All right, guys, but once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and happy farming, everybody. I will see you next time.